We're going to create our own CSS file, and notice we always store it in the CSS folder. So again, you're always going to have a web page, a .html document, web page, and the same location to make Bootstrap work. You're going to have a CSS folder, and you're going to have a JS folder. Now we're calling the stuff in that folder, so we're going to make a new CSS file. And again, if you go up here, sorry, we go down a little bit here. So right here, we're doing a link relationship to a CSS file that I called CodePen_footer. So I got this idea from CodePen, basically. I was looking for a good footer, simple example, and I thought this was pretty cool. So we're doing a link relationship, and even though it says to style CSS to CodePen footer, sorry. Okay, so I have comments, and again, we should have gotten this. As I said, I'm gonna give you this font icon link on the assignment because it's long and all that stuff, and then you can just copy and paste it. Okay, so I'm just stopping and starting, and you're typing out what I have. So again, you're going to make a new in Atom. You're going to make a new file and call it CodePen_footer.css and store it. Here's the most important part: store it in the CSS folder. And we have quite a few class name things we're going to do. Let me go ahead and just highlight this, and hopefully you can see it, and just stop the video and type out what I have. I have .site-footer, that's the class name. And what happened was everything on the footer is surrounded. The first tag is a footer tag that we haven't used. And even though it doesn't really do that much difference, we are talking to it, and we set a class name for it called site-footer. We're changing the background color. We're changing the padding. Again, padding is empty space inside an element. We're changing the font size of any text, a line height, which is kind of a vertical thing, and then the actual color of text. So anytime you see the word color, that's for text. Anytime you see the word background, you don't have to use dash color, but they did, so I kept it. That's for non-text, including HR, horizontal rules, because horizontal rules it's not a text, it's not a font or a type. It is a thing, and you color it with the background. Now we're coloring it down below here with a little bit of border top color, because by default, you have a border around the HR, and you can delete that. You could say border none, but we're actually talking to the border, just the top, and changing the top of the border to a weird color, BBB. All right, so stop that. Let me highlight all this here. And we'll just stop and start the video here as I kind of talk about what's happening. And then let me go down. So just below that, I want you to type out this. And you notice we're saying .site-footer H6. We're saying, hey, there's an area on our web page called site-footer. Inside that area, there's an H6 tag somewhere, and here's what we want to do. We want to color it white, make the font size 16 pixels. That's high. Text transform uppercase, so All the letters are going to be uppercase. It's going to have a margin top of 5 pixels, and the letter spacing between letters is going to be 2 pixels. Some things we haven't done before. And then we're talking again, we have a class name called site footer somewhere on our page. Inside that site footer area, there's an A tag. And again, A tags are there to make things clickable. So we have an A tag, and we're coloring the text within that A tag of a certain color, hexadecimal color number. And then the hover, there are different states of the A tag. And the hover, the hover, darn it. There we go. The hover is when your mouse hovers over it. So the A is just what it looks like normally, and the A:hover is when your mouse hovers over it. So you can change the look of it, or that state. The state, there are different states of the A tag. So go ahead and type that out. Stop the video and type that out. And then we're going to go down even more to footer links. Again, there's a class name called footer links. Go ahead and stop the video and type that out. Let me just a second here. So I made that smaller because on this one right here it says footer-links A:active, comma, footer links A focus, and then footer links A hover. So those are all the states. So we're not going to change the color on the different states of the footer links A tag. The focus is, I don't know, I don't use it. I really just worry about the A active. And you don't even have to say active. You can just say A. And the hover. The hover is probably the most important. That's when your mouse hovers over it and you change the look of it to make it. And what it does by experience, it tells somebody that something's clickable. That's all it does. Your mouse turns into a hand because it's over something clickable, and you can change the color during that state to tell the viewer or the user that it's clickable and can do something. So again, go ahead and let me, you can pause this. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. So pause it and get it. And then let me go down here. The next thing we're doing, a little bit more. The inline is for the list items. And then site footer, the social icons, those are the little icons that we're picking up from a web page. And we're doing some things with those. Those are the Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff, just to get some experience with that. The cool thing is they have sites like we're doing. We're grabbing the idea of the icon from a website and then creating a class name and designing, even though we grabbed them from a website, we're designing them a little bit extra of what we want with class names. So go ahead and stop and, again, type out everything I have. And then we'll go down a little bit more to copyright text. And then I'll kind of explain what's going on here. So let me take a little bit at a time here. Just do the copyright text. Go ahead and pause it and .copyright-text. And then margin 0. So it basically tightens up and gets rid of, by default, any kind of empty space. Usually there's 10 pixels At least it can be by default if you don't do anything. And this is taking any of those margin pixels away from the copyright text. Now this is weird. This is something we haven't done. So this is an @media of kind of a function, and it's basically saying when the max width is at least 991 pixels, do this. So go ahead and type that out. Notice it has a curly bracket. It mentions what part of the page you want to do. This is with all the columns in the site footer. And it's going to change when the max width is 991 pixels. It's going to change the margin bottom to 30 pixels of any column within the site footer area. Okay, and notice again, there's a curly bracket, and then we do something, and there's a curly bracket. So there's two open curly brackets, and there are two closed curly brackets down here. And that's the @ sign right there, @media, and then in parentheses, max-width, 991 pixels. All right, we haven't done that before at all. So go ahead and stop and type that out. And then let me go up a little bit here. Oop. Okay, so we got the one. Now this one is a little bit bigger. Oh. So go ahead and type that out. And again, it's basically kind of creating a function where it's saying, hey, if the max width is 767 pixels, then do something with site footer. And we're going to add, we're going to take away the padding at the bottom. That was 30 pixels, and now we're going to take it away. And then let me see, notice this goes larger than our screen. So let me go Command minus, yeah, sorry, wasn't much. So again, notice you have a curly bracket, you have a class name, you have a curly bracket, you close off the curly bracket here. Okay, you have another site-footer, period, copyright text. Social icons, you have a curly bracket. You're aligning the text. When this is true, basically do this. So go ahead and stop that and try your hand at typing that out. And then let me go down even further. Now we're getting into the social icon stuff. The little icons we grabbed from the website. So go ahead and type that out. Go ahead and pause it. And again, it's .social-icons, curly bracket. And we're doing something with the padding -left, the margin bottom, list-style, none. That basically takes away the little dots. That by default, because each icon is a list item. And then we're doing something with the LI too. And also, so again, type all this out here. Pause it. And then we're going to go down to, here's the big one, social icons A, because they're all A's, they're all clickable. And these are, you can barely see it, but when you mouse over, there's a gradient that happens over time, just a quick little milliseconds. And that's what this is doing down here, this transitional linear. When you see the word linear, you know that it's doing something with some kind of animation from, you know, this state to this state with a few seconds, or in this case milliseconds, so you can barely see it. the thing we haven't done is, now this is all we've done, kind of this with the color, the background color, and the line height even. Display inline block, the width, the height, text align, margin right, border radius. But this, go ahead and stop and type all this out. But let me explain what the WebKit is, and the zero and the O transitional and the transition. So the WebKit, now browsers now have scripts in them that you can call to. So you have to call to, you don't know what your user, what browser they're going to use. So you want it to work on all browsers. So we're calling, when you see the word -WebKit, that's Safari. When you see the O, that's Opera, another browser that we don't use in this class, but it's available. And then the word transition, I believe that's for just Chrome. And then if you saw the word Moz, that would be for Firefox Mozilla. Okay. And then got a few more things here. Lots of CSS. So let me highlight that and go ahead and let me, there, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's .social icons a:\active, comma, .social icons a:\focus, and .social icons a:\hover. So hover, focus, and active state. And again, you can just do the active and the hover. You don't really need, I don't think you need the focus. But some weird hexadecimal color numbers like 29AAFE. Huh. I didn't even know that existed. I mean, there are millions of colors, so why would I? But it's just some of the colors they choose. Like there's another one on this page, BBB, and it's the color of the top of the HR tag, and it's number sign or hashtag BBB, and it's a hexadecimal color number, but I've never used BBB. So there you go. All right, so go ahead and stop and type that out. And then let me go down a little bit more here. I don't know where we are here. So let's type out some of these, and then I'll move down here. So let me go right there. Go ahead and type that out. And again, we're doing things. So notice it says Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Dribbble. I don't know what Dribbble is. I kept it. I'm an old man, so I don't know what Dribbble is. But anyways, go ahead and type that out. And then let me go down. Here's some more media functions here. One more. Sorry. So this, again, that @sign, it's the @ media, and then in parentheses, max-width, 767px, and then social icons. And again, notice there's two opening curly brackets here, and because of that, there have to be two closing ones here. So they have to equal. However many opening curly brackets you have to close them off. And it's basically saying, if this is true, when the max width is 767, then do this. And if it's not, don't do it. Okay? So go ahead and type all that stuff out and see if you got the same thing. Just remember that's an @ right there. And the word media, MEDIA. And then again in parentheses, this is the statement, the argument, that when it's true, do this. Okay? All right. And when you are done, it should look like that. And then again, the weird part is this width this about area is a 6, column 6, and this is a column 3 for categories and a column 3 for quick links. Again, the magic number is 12, 6, 3, 3, 12. But when you get down, this becomes a column 12. This is a column 6 and a column 6. So again, that's kind of the stuff we have not done before. So there you go. Hopefully yours looks very similar to mine. Thanks.